Hey guys, what's going on? This is Pantside Dragon, and today we'll be doing the AD carry tier list for patch 5.9. In the latest patch, Ashe got a rework, Kalista got a nerf, and some champions in the jungle might be shifting a bit, but not really. And with all that being said, let's get started. Alright, so number 5 is still Vayne. I do feel like she's really good in the tank meta, of course, with her W, and of course she can kite really well, and she just becomes a beast late game. And also with Grizz kind of falling out of flavor, which was one of her hardest matchups, I feel like she has a decent spot in the laning phase right now. I mean, she still does have a weak laning phase, I'll admit, but definitely still one of the highest damaging single target AD carries. She's also really good at 1v1ing people unless the enemy has a pink ward or oracles, which is, pretty unique for an AD carry to have. You can also impress your friends if you're really good at her and make everyone think you're a god. And at number 4 is going to be Kalista. So in this patch, she got her passive nerfed where she can't kite backwards as efficiently as she could before. So that means bruisers have a easier time getting to her. And say she's getting ganked in lane, she can't escape as well as she could before because, she'd have that extra range on her hop so she could get away. But she can still hop and, kite people, so that is a really good bonus on an AD carry to have. And she's extremely strong mid-game because of her way to finish off enemies with the amount of stacks of rend in them. And of course there's not a lot of burst damage to kill her instantly, so she can sustain off them with a Bloodthirster or Blade of Ruined King. But once the late game does come, she does have a bit of trouble staying alive since there's a lot of burst coming from the AD carries and mid laners, so she can't really kite around them as efficiently as she could in the mid game. Definitely has to be very careful in the late game. Up at number 3 is Jinx. Still good, not really much change here from the last patch. One of the best scaling AD carries late game since she does have long range, since she has splash damage with her auto attacks, a long range nuke that has really high scalings on it, an ultimate which damage doesn't fall off, and probably one of the most useful passives an AD carry can have. Her only flaw is that she does not have any escapes, so if she does get caught up by say Zed or Lissandra, she's probably going to drop easily, but as long as she stays alive in teamfights and she's really fed, she'll probably win those teamfights. And at number 2 is going to be Sivir. So again, a lot of utility coming from her ultimate, very hard to kill since she does have a lot of movement speed coming from her passive and her ultimate, and don't forget one of the best defensive moves in the game, her spell shield. So when she is fed, she's very hard to kill because of that spell shield. And I'm basically repeating myself from the last AD carry tier list about Sivir. So basically she's just good because she has utility if she's behind, and if she's ahead she's fairly hard to kill. And that's basically it. And at number 1, oh baby, it's motherfucking Ashe. Okay, so let's compare this Ashe with the old Ashe. So old Ashe wasn't really that bad to pick in solo queue, or even in general. I wouldn't say she was one of the best, but like if you picked her I wouldn't mind, kind of thing. But now let's talk about what they kind of buffed on this Ashe and what she kind of lost off the old Ashe. So basically they gave her an attack speed steroid and an ability which increases her DPS for a good duration, which is actually pretty powerful. And our Frost Shots is now our passive with this new crit mechanic, which of course does save her some mana in the laning phase, and this new crit mechanic which I think it may do more damage than the average AD carry, since it basically gives you crits after the first auto attack or volley, so you don't have to rely on that RNG. And let's be honest here, her old passive was hella useless, so now she gets an actual useful one, which is basically her old Q and this crit thing. And yeah, the bonus gold on kill from her E is gone, but you only got 1 gold per minion, so it doesn't really matter too much. But your E is now global and you can have 2 stacks of it. So that's basically a free clairvoyance, and like if you want to find enemy jungler, just shoot it out, and now you know that he's in that certain area. And her ultimate is basically the same. I heard the slow on it is the same as your Frost Shots on your passive. But I mean, you're not really relying on the slow, you're more relying on the stun. Her W is a bit more harder to hit in lane, but honestly, it's not that hard. And now let's just talk about her laning phase. So she has 600 range, which is really good. She now has the ability to trade better since she has 110% more damage when she's trading with the enemy if they have Frost Shots on them because of her passive. And if she has 5 stacks of focus, she can activate her Q to even do more DPS. And basically compared with the old Ashe, her trading ability is way better. And now that she has this new Q and her passive, her late game scaling is really good, especially since she also has utility, so that's even better. And if she does fall behind, well, guess what? She still has utility, so she's going to use her ultimate, 3.5 second stun, use her hawk shot for clairvoyance, and her W and passive to apply slows on the enemy team. She does have her cons, I'll admit. She's vulnerable to assassins, but if they gap close on her and don't kill her by then, she can easily kite them and then kill them, and she doesn't really have any escapes. All she can really do is slow them down with her volley and then run away. But other than that, it's basically just Odash who got a shitload of buffs, and then now she's really good. So I'm expecting a nerf sometime in the future. Alright, next up is going to be honorable mentions, and first up is going to be Draven. Again, I've said this plenty of times before, if you are a good Draven player, play him. He's very hard to play, but for those people who do know how to play him, will be really good at climbing a ladder with him, since he just has a ton of DPS when he has those two axes. Next up is going to be my man LeBron James. So my man can do his little crossovers and juke people and get those 3-pointers in the hoop. But you know, ever since they nerfed Lucian's passive, I just feel like his laning phase was one of his strongest points, and now that they nerfed that, he's not as strong as he used to be. And there's just like better mid game and late game AD carries, but that's how I feel about him. Next up is going to be Corki. I think he's still good, but I also feel like he's falling out of flavor a bit. So it is kind of weird to see that, and I honestly don't understand why he's kind of falling out of flavor. But I do feel like he's still in a decent spot right now, so I wouldn't leave him out just yet. And next up is going to be Graves. I feel like the buckshot nerf a while ago wasn't too bad, but it did hurt him a bit. I mean, I still think he's good, but people don't seem to like him that often too much these days. Hey guys, so thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys did enjoy this video, maybe you'll enjoy top 10 best junglers for solo queue patch 5.9, or even top 5 best supports for solo queue patch 5.9, and then there's mid laners right there, but as you can see it's for patch 5.8, but we won't be doing any updates since I don't feel it needs to be changed at the moment, so do check that out. And again, if you guys did enjoy this video, subscribe and join the not so big D club. And again, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.
Shit blasted. I had to